Kasi ako po, hindi ko po talaga tinitikman ng breast milk ko. Never ko pa natikman ng breast milk ko. Never ko pa natikman ng breast milk ko. We are up for another vlog, and this time I'm going to teach you how to properly store your breast milk. So first, in storing breast milk, it is important to know what are you going to use. Do you prefer to use milk bags just like me, or do you prefer bottles to use for storing your breast milk? Either way, it's good for as long as you won't be using bottles that is not intended for feeding babies, and at the same time po, don't use any plastic available around because milk bags are sterilized plastic. So it's not like the plastics around our house na nakikita po natin. So it's important to use the proper storing materials. So in storing materials, in storing your breast milk, first, how do you properly store your freshly pumped milk? So if you will pump milk and you are going to put it inside a room temperature, it will last for 4 hours to 6 hours depending on the temperature of your room. Say for example, you are having an air-conditioned room, yon. In that case po, pwedeng tumagal yung breast milk for 6 hours. But then, if you are not having an aircon inside your room, and especially if mainit yung panahon, usually po, the maximum time na pwedeng magamit ang freshly expressed breast milk is until 4 hours lang po. Now, if you have an insulated bag with ice pack, these are the bags used by working moms just like me before this pandemic happened, no? Before I became a work-from-home mom. I have an insulated bag with me na I bring every day para po sa pump milk ko while I'm at work. So, this insulated bag must have an ice pack na nandun lang po yun sa loob nun. That's where you are going to put your breast milk. Now, once the ice pack is intact inside the breast milk bag, it will last for 6 hours to 24 hours depending on the availability of the ice pack in the insulated bag. Usually po kasi nakaka-affect dito is kapag yung ice na nasa loob nun is lusaw na. Now, if you are going to use the lower part of your refrigerator, dito naman po tumatagal ang freshly pumped milk for 5 days up to 7 days or 1 week. If you have a 2-door refrigerator and you're going to use the upper part or the freezer part of your refrigerator, and you put your breast milk on the back part po, no, it is advisable po na you place it at the back part of your refrigerator para po talagang yung temperature po nandun talaga. It will last for 3 months at most. Now, if you would really be storing breast milk, if you're an oversupplier, you have an abundant supply, it is encouraged for everyone, for every moms like me who have an oversupply of breast milk to use a deep freezer or an upright freezer, and to use a separate freezer as well. So, if you will be using chest freezer or upright freezer, the breast milk will last for 6 months to 1 year. But it is said that the nutrients and all the antibodies of the breast milk will be present for 6 months. Yan, the most. Of course, another way din po, you need to use a waterproof ink to label your breast milk bag. So, say for example, in this case po, ayan, there's a date for my breast milk. Ayan, may date, may time. Why is it important to use waterproof ink? Kasi po, once na yung breast milk bag or your breast milk bottle na sinulatan nyo, say for example, in a scotch tape, hindi waterproof yung ink na ginamit nyo, once na nalamigan yan, nagkaroon ng moist, mabubura. So, it's very hard to identify now yung date and time nung pagkaka-express nyo on that particular breast milk. So, dito po, i-appear ko po dito yung mas detailed po para po mabasa din ninyo. Another question po is, can I add my freshly pumped milk to my stored breast milk? Yan, usual po na question yan. The answer is yes, you can add your freshly pumped milk to your stored breast milk. Given po na pareho sila ng temperature. So, paano yun? So, yung freshly pumped milk mo po, kung malamig yung nakastore mong breast milk, kailangan yung freshly pumped milk mo ay palalamigin mo din muna. Once po na magkapareho na sila ng temperature, meaning pareho na silang malamig, that's the time that you can combine the two. Now, another question po, can I combine my milk from my left breast and my milk from my right breast? The answer is yes. You can combine the milk coming from both of your breasts. Pwede nyo po yan i-combine, no? There's no problem with that one. Pero keep in mind po, no, na the longer you store your breast milk, according to research, mas nalilesen po talaga yung vitamins po na nandoon sa breast milk. That's why in my case po, I store my breast milk, pero usually po ang pinapa-consume ko po kay baby is my pumped milk during the day. And if I will be using my stored breast milk naman po, as much as possible, yung mas nauuna po yung inaano ko talaga sa kanya. Kasi para mas mataas pa yung antibodies. So, most of my breast milk po talaga are for donations po. Now, another question po, how do you thaw breast milk? Thawing is a way of, how do we call this? Yung from frozen po, paano po ba i-consume or paano mo ito-thaw yung breast milk mo? So, of course, there are some things that you have to consider in thawing breast milk. So, number one po, in thawing breast milk, you need to thaw this in a room temperature. Ilabas mo lang po siya sa freezer. You just put it in a container para sanitize pa rin siya. And then, you just let it melt, no? Hayaan nyo lang na mag-melt yung frozen breast milk niya. That's it. In my case naman po, if I will be using or I have to run some errand the next day, ang ginagawa ko po is ibinababa ko na or inilalagay ko na siya doon sa lower part ng refrigerator ko overnight. So, pagising ko na umaga nun, malambot na yon, malamig-lamig pa. Then, I will put it inside the bottle. Tapos, nilalagay ko pa rin siya sa freezer. And kapag i-consume na ni baby, that's the time lang po na inilalabas ng freezer yung breast milk ko. So, there are some babies po na mas gusto nila yung medyo warm na or room temperature na yung breast milk na dededehin nila. Meron naman po, just like my baby, he doesn't mind po kung malamig or room temperature yung dededehin niya. Nasanay na po kasi siya. Okay? At the same time po, wag po kayong magtataka. Freshly pumped milk is very different from thawed milk. Yung pong freshly pumped milk natin, if you will smell it, most of the time, it's odorless. Plus, the color is white. Okay? There are times po na medyo clear white po, especially if it's for milk, but definitely it's white. In thawed milk po, once po ang milk niyo is frozen, tapos nag-melt po, you would be surprised that there are some parts po doon na medyo yellowish, tapos parang nagsiseparate po. Sometimes nga po, some moms thought that their breast milk are already expired or panis na, not good for consumption. Especially kapag inamoy mo kasi yung thawed milk, parang meron siyang amoy na malansa. But actually, that's perfectly fine for consumption of your baby. Rest assured na na-store mo to ng maayos. Now, if you are not confident enough, you may smell it. If you're not confident sa smell, you may taste it. Okay? And you know what? I tell you, our babies know kapag yung milk ay expired na or hindi. No? Another tip po pala na ibibigay ko sa inyo, how would you know kung expired na yung breast milk mo? In my case po, talaga nagsadya ako na magpanis ng breast milk. Talagang hinayaan ko siya dyan. And everyday, inaamoy-amoy ko siya. Okay? So, maa-identify nyo doon from that experiment, ma-identify nyo doon yung difference sa consistency, sa texture, sa itsura, and at the same time sa smell. Ayan. So, kasi ako po, hindi ko po talaga tinitikman ng breast milk ko. Never ko pa natikman ng breast milk ko despite the fact na ang dami nila. So, hindi ko rin to magawa yung taste test. Pero meron po talagang gumagawa nito and it's really highly suggested. So from there, yun po yung ginagawa kong basihan if the breast milk is still good for consumption. So yan po. Now, I hope na may natutunan po kayo on proper storage of breast milk and at the same time on how to properly thaw your breast milk. So please click subscribe if you learned something. Hit like button. Share this video to help other moms in need. And please po, comment down below if you have any question or if you want me to do other vlogs. Thank you!